Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy is often regarded as one of the OG isekai series that helped to popularize the genre, but despite that, it isn't as big as other series such as Overlord, Tensura, or Mushoku Tensei. But that's not to say it's bad in comparison. On the contrary, it's equally as well written and detailed as the examples I have mentioned. That's why I think it's only fair to give Moonlit Fantasy some attention as well. And what better way than to start with Makoto Misumi, the main protagonist of the series. So in this two-part series of Makoto, we'll first be focusing on things like his backstory and lore, how his relationships affected his character, along with his more notable affiliations such as the Asora and the Kuzunoha Company, which were quite crucial to his overall story and growth. As usual, here's a spoiler warning for Tsukimichi, and if you enjoyed my breakdown, feel free to like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. Before that, a quick word from the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. You know, as an Asian person, therapy is often something very frowned upon by our culture. We are taught to just bottle everything inside and not talk about our feelings or emotions. I personally have suffered from anxiety and depression previously, but I never dared to seek professional help because I was uncomfortable with the idea of therapy in a public setting. However, when I learned about BetterHelp and how it was a fully online experience, I decided to give it a try. And surprisingly, the process was super simple. All I had to do was to fill out a short questionnaire on BetterHelp. Then I was immediately matched with a licensed therapist, all of which have a wide range of specialties and backgrounds. But when I realized they were not for me, BetterHelp even allowed me to easily switch to another therapist with no extra cost. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 star rating on Trustpilot, it's clear that BetterHelp is trusted by people all around the world. If you are suffering from depression, anxiety, or other issues like me, and you are ready to seek professional help, click on the link in the description down below or go to betterhelp.com/roombai for a special discount on your first month of therapy. We all deserve to take care of our mental health, so start your journey today with BetterHelp. Now then, to better understand Makoto's character and why he was sent to another world by the moon god Tsukiyomi, we have to first look at his parents because they're actually the reason behind this. To explain, his parents were originally otherworlders that came from the goddess's world, the place where Makoto would be sent to. His mother Kasumi used to be known as Cass, a high-ranking priestess, and his father Hayato was known as Kanat, a nobleman. They both came from the satellite nation of Elysium, where they were initially engaged to each other, but when Cass had a forbidden affair with a demon spy, this resulted in her being banished from the country. And despite the controversy, Kanat apparently still loved Cass, so he proposed they run away to Earth, but because she was still a priestess belonging to the goddess, this had greatly offended the deity, which prompted the goddess to offer them a wager. If they could complete a total of 12 highly dangerous and outright impossible trials set by the goddess, she would allow them passage to Earth, but to a surprise, the couple managed to overcome all the trials through sheer determination and love, so the goddess was forced to comply with their wager, although not before adding another condition, which is honestly just petty of her. The final condition was that once the couple had arrived at Earth, they had to eventually give up whatever they considered to be the most precious, which in this case, it would be one of their children. That's why when Makoto was growing up alongside his sisters, they were actually given training involving physical fitness, academic, and survival skills by their parents to prepare them for the harsh realities of the unknown world they'll be sent to, while having no idea about the agreement their parents had made with the goddess. Also, some additional facts about Makoto. He apparently used to have quite a weak body constitution when he was younger, which worried his parents, but thanks to a healer who managed to discover the true identities of his parents, Makoto underwent a special treatment that strengthened his body through the removal of his affinity for wind and healing magic. That said, before being summoned and becoming the Giga Chad we know from the series, Makoto was considered to be an unremarkable person back in his previous world. He was average looking with average grades, socially awkward, and had little talents for most aspects of life. He was especially oblivious when it came to romance, as he often struggled to understand or reciprocate the emotions of girls who confessed to him, a trait he would carry over in the new world, like how he initially had a difficult time handling the affections from his companions Tomoe and Mio. Regardless, Makoto was quite talented when it came to archery, as it's one of the cornerstones that define his character and is often his signature move to use during combat in the goddess's world. Tsukiyomi even described that Makoto's mastery over archery was a result of his inherent ability to focus, concentrate, and hit whatever he desires. In any case, Makoto's first experience in this new world was quite terrible, as the goddess revealed that he was unworthy to serve as a champion because of his ugly appearance and how his existence was an insult to the beauty standards of the world. So rather than being welcomed, Makoto was instead casted into the wastelands, a desolate and dangerous area on the edge of the world. And this initial meeting with the goddess would serve as a pivotal moment to help Makoto realize the flaws of this new world, while also becoming the catalyst that will define his own character growth in the future, as he developed a disdain aim for superficial things, instead growing to value inner qualities such as integrity, compassion, and strength. However, Tsukiyomi was able to intervene and save Makoto, even granting him the freedom to live as he wishes under the blessing of the moon god. On a side note, what will you do if you are in Makoto's position and you are rejected for something as superficial as your appearance? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. To continue, Makoto actually implemented this lesson almost immediately during his encounter with Emma and the Highland Orcs, one of the native species found in this new world, because rather than treating them as monsters, he formed a relationship based on mutual trust and respect with them, which is a stark contrast to his interaction with the goddess. The Highland Orcs will even become an essential part of Makoto's journey, as they provide him the wisdom and guidance about this new world. This was the most prevalent in Emma, who uses the organizational and management skills that advise Makoto in all aspects related to leadership and governance, especially after Makoto had established the Subspace and Kuzunoha Company. More about the two later in the video. Also, having learned how the other races were ostracized and discriminated by the humans, the dominant race favored by the goddess because they don't adhere to the same societal norms or standards set by her, Makoto would discover a new target he can work towards, as he desired to not only protect and uplift oppressed races, he wanted to create a world where everyone can live according to their own choices, rather than having their world dictated by the goddess. That's why following his victory over the great dragon Shin, and having overpowered her in the ruling contract ritual to become a master, he would order Shin, who he also named Tomoe, to create a subspace realm, which fans have apparently dubbed Asora. So to explain what this is, Asora was originally an alternate realm that Tomoe would often use as a prison to trap her opponents. However, after her contract with Makoto, Asora transformed from a space devoid of matter into a land filled with life and nature, adopting an environment similar to that of Earth itself. This is because when Makoto became Tomoe's master, they became connected with one another, so her subspace ability was now drawing magical power from him instead of her. And since Asora is heavily influenced by the thoughts and emotions of the host, it's no wonder it took the form of something familiar to him. It was for this reason why Makoto has the authority to reshape the terrain, climate, or ecosystem of Asora to accommodate the needs of the residents that have settled here. Also, a subsequent result of this interaction meant that the size of Asora will expand every time his own powers increase, and if he forms a new pact with someone, the environment will add a new ecology as well. Continuing on, as for how Asora was governed, Makoto doesn't actually consider himself the ruler of the subspace. Instead, he delegates the responsibilities to trusted advisors like Tomoe and Emma, while still offering autonomy to the inhabitants as long as they respect one another and don't discriminate. Because he is extremely opposed to how the goddess governs the world through inequality and favoritism for a specific race. That's why Makoto believes in a philosophy of fairness and equality, where people are judged based on their contributions rather than subjective characteristics like race or appearance. Just thanks to this approach, which not only helped to foster innovation and cooperation among the inhabitants, Makoto was able to attract a variety of different races who were able to offer their skills to further develop Asora into a thriving economy that's capable of even competing with the wealthiest and most powerful human cities. So to quickly go over some of the notable races living inside Asora, where the Highland Orcs were the first to settle here and they mostly serve as the main source of manpower, but they can offer wisdom as well when it came to knowledge on the world itself. Then were the Elder Dwarves, and they are renowned for their mining, metalworking, blacksmithing, and crafting abilities. They were extremely important when it came to advancing the technology and infrastructure of Asora. Next, it will be the Misty Lizard folk, who are considered to be highly specialized warriors. One is enough to take on the Low Dragon, so they mostly assist in maintaining the order and security of Asora. The Elves are another notable race living in Asora, and because of their knowledge on alchemy, they help to identify and take care of plants that can be made into herbs with medicinal value. There are a few other races that can be found living here as well, like forest ogres, gorgons, harpies, and even mermaids. And this diverse group of inhabitants is honestly just a testament to Makoto's acceptance of all beings regardless of race or origin. In every sense, Asora is not only a physical refuge, but also a sanctuary for the oppressed and a foundation for Makoto's dream of creating a more equal world. Having said that, despite his opposition towards the way the humans behave in this world, Makoto doesn't limit himself from interacting with them, rather he still desires to integrate into their society as he hopes to teach and provide them with an alternative worldview to the inequality, prejudice, and superficial values perpetuated by the goddess. However, he had initially struggled to establish a foothold with the humans because the goddess removed his ability to communicate with them through language, and his appearance along with the mana signature that it radiated had caused people to treat him with extreme prejudice as well. So in order to overcome this issue, Makoto started to conceal his identity and powers while using magic to communicate with the humans instead. He then presented himself as a merchant from the wastelands, selling products made in Asora, and sometime later, he would meet and form a friendly relationship with an influential merchant named Patrick Rembrandt, who inspired Makoto to establish the Kuzunoha Company, which not only greatly improved its integration into human society, he could now take a more subtle approach to facilitate cultural exchange without compromising his own ideals, while also benefiting in terms of monetary aspects. As for the company itself, because Makoto established the business with the intention of fulfilling his dreams of equality, he often employs individuals from different races like demi-humans or other beings that have been discriminated by human society, but that doesn't mean he compromises on quality. Rather, he still hires based solely on merit, and only those who he considers to be capable will be given a chance to work at Kuzunoha. Also, because of Makoto's principle of providing fair treatment and protection to the people working for him, everyone is given the same opportunities and safety, which empowers them to contribute meaningfully to the company along with fostering a loyal workforce, although he only trusted Tomoe and Mio when it came to the overall management and running of the company. But what truly sets Kuzunoha apart from other merchants and the defining factor to its success are the affordable pricing, high quality products, and amazing customer service they provided. For example, even though many products provided by Kuzunoha are high quality and can be easily sold at a higher price, Makoto instead chooses to sell them for literal copper prices because again, it's a reflection of his ideas that everyone, no matter the economic status, are able to afford his products. Additionally, his company also has an amazing trading and delivery system that allows for their services to even reach customers from remote or faraway places. It's because of this business model that's made Kuzunoha extremely influential and wealthy, which not only disrupted the traditional market, it has even forced other merchants to improve their own practices just to compete with them. Furthermore, Kuzunoha is truly a peaceful organization because Makoto forbids them from ever taking war profits, even making sure that none of their products will be touched by any sides of the war, unless it's for aiding the victims who are suffering. That's why the Kuzunoha Company is more than just a business for Makoto, it's a reflection of his values, not only serving as a means for him to engage with human society and a symbol of his oppression against the goddess, but proving that change is possible while inspiring others to strive for a better future as well. Now, just before I end the video, I wanted to talk about Makoto's companions and how they contribute uniquely to his growth. For example, Tomoe was one of his first major allies, and even though their relationship started with battle in the wastelands, she quickly became impressed by his strength and fascinated by his memories of Earth, especially in regards to Japanese culture like samurais. And through a vested interest in all things related to Japan, she would indirectly help Makoto reconnect with his cultural roots and acquire a sense of cultural identity in the foreign world. Not only that, Tomoe also serves as a steadying presence, becoming his trusted advisor, offering wisdom and guidance to Makoto in both governance and strategy. But most importantly, Tomoe teaches him the importance of trust and partnership, offering wisdom and guidance to Makoto in both governance and strategy. Next, we have the Black Spider of Calamity Mio, who Makoto met shortly after establishing Asora, and similar to Tomoe, her initial meeting with him was through fighting, but the most surprising part was how she technically defeated Makoto in battle. Regardless, she became quite obsessed with Makoto after she experienced the masochistic pleasures of being attacked by him and being aroused by the taste of his blood, so wanting to stay by his side forever and taking the advice from Tomoe, she forms a ruling contract with him. She would then pledge herself to Makoto and was given the name of Mio, but not only that, she promises to become his shield. However, Makoto was initially disturbed by intense devotion along with unwavering love for him, but eventually he had grown to like and care for her in a romantic sense. That's why Mio not only serves as a source of strength for Makoto, she was essential in helping him to confront and understand the feelings of attachment along with the idea of love, areas where he previously struggled due to his social awkwardness. And here's a fun fact about Mio: Makoto apparently lost his virginity to her in a web novel. Then the third companion to join Makoto's group would be Shiki, originally known as Lava. He was an elder lich that was defeated by Makoto during his visit in the Tinarak forest, and having learned that the elder lich was intelligent, Makoto decided to form a ruling contract with him. But despite the elder lich being a high-ranking species, Makoto was still too powerful for the ritual to be carried out, so using an alternate method which involves wearing the rings used by Makoto to bypass the limitations of the ruling contract, Shiki became another one of his servants. As for what he offers to Makoto, Shiki was extremely valuable when it came to his knowledge of magic along with other theoretical and practical subjects, often lending his intellect not only as a researcher but a strategist as well to help grow Asora and the Kuzunoha Company. In addition to that, Shiki's relationship with Makoto has greatly influenced the decision making and the way in which Makoto approaches problems, helping him to be more strategic and creative when it came to problems. Lastly, there's the Shrine Maiden Toda, and not much information is known about her past, apart from the fact that she used to serve different gods before coming into servitude under Makoto. Makoto, being given a new name of Tamaki. She is currently tasked with managing all the spiritual aspects of Asora and taking care of the shrine, but despite her beauty and capabilities, Makoto is quite wary of Tamaki since her demeanor and personality comes across as manipulative and cunning, leading Makoto to question her true intentions. Also, unlike his three companions, Tamaki maintains a formal yet slightly playful relationship with Makoto. Maybe that's why he remains cautious about her, because she is unpredictable. Nonetheless, as for how Tamaki has affected Makoto's character growth, there's too little information about her, but based on my own observations, I would say that her presence adds complexity to his leadership, forcing him to adapt to a unique personality, and further improving his ability to handle diverse personalities while trying to maintain balance within his growing circle of followers. Anyways, I have to give credit to the author of Moonlit Fantasy because when it came to creating the world and characters, you can tell just how talented the author is from the way Makoto is written in the story. His journey in the goddess's world is defined not only by his ideas for creating a better and fair world, but also the relationships he was able to create, as they all contribute uniquely to his own evolution as a character, helping him to navigate different challenges and refine his values as a person, especially with his trusted companions who are the foundation to his growth. I mean, even Asora and the Kuzunoha Company were a perfect manifestation of Makoto's values on promoting fairness, empowering marginalized races along with the principles of self-sufficiency, but most importantly, they both serve as a means for Makoto to engage with the world and acting as a symbol of his growing influence to challenge the flawed superficial society governed by the goddess.
何この状況目に毒だ
So yeah, this was part 1 for Makoto's character breakdown, and now that we learned about Makoto's character backstory, his relationships, along with the significance of Asora and the Kuzunoha Company, in part 2 we'll be taking a look at his skills and abilities to see just how powerful he actually is, so be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be reminded of the upcoming video. Also, feel free to share your thoughts on Makoto's character in the comments down below and give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.